bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
Right, and I remember too, a while back, we were breaking down the scripture about the vessels, how when you put that unclean mortar on there, you try to get it off, you can't, but then you do, it breaks it even more. It's because of all that wickedness y'all have allowed to get into you people. You know, that's why the scriptures call y'all people laden with iniquity, man. You've seen a ladle before, right? You pour it out, it gets a big amount of fluid, and it just pours out. Y'all are people laden with iniquity. That's why it said in Jeremiah, why is it that y'all are not healed yet? You know, there's too much wickedness in the earth, and there's too much wickedness coming out of y'all people. That's why there's no peace. There's no peace from the wicked. And the Most High is even saying, and again, man, that's why you 2/3 are going to be destroyed. Y'all can't be healed. Y'all done too much. Like I said, y'all provoked the Most High. Just by even shrugging yourself away, you're provoking the Most High. Having a problem with one of his instructions, that's already too much. Like the scripture said in Ezekiel, y'all profane his holy name.
This is Hosea 2:5. For their mother had played the harlot. She had conceived them and had done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers that give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flask, my oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy wall with thorns and make a wall, that she shall not find her paths. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn, wine, oil, multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flask given to cover her nakedness. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand.
Hey, and what did it say in is it dang, it's slipping my mind. It's I think it's Matthew, where it said that man, it's getting out of my mind. Or Yahweh said in Luke that many in this time that are first are going to be last. You know, the Most High was telling y'all people that's going to be your shame at the end. That or like when y'all said that y'all want to come back to the Most High, but yet the Most High is going to recover my wool, my corn, and my bread. You know, because y'all are trying to get everything y'all want in this time, and the Most High is not dealing with it like that. But the only one He's going to redeem in this time is the elect. You 2/3, your shame is going to be your lovers. You're going to see that what you went after this vanity the whole time was not profitable. That's your greatest shame. That's your greatest crime. That you wanted to trust in another man, trust in what a corruptible thing could say. You know? Most High ain't dealing with y'all people. That's why you're going to be destroyed. Give me what scripture? Hosea 8:3. Because again, y'all have committed. We already tell you every week, man. We're just bringing it out, but we're just letting you know over and over again that you people don't realize the amount of anger you brought out on the Most High and what you've done to Him, or what you've done to yourself. You know, like we always talk about Esau messing with the Most High. You're doing the same thing, man. Y'all don't realize the trouble you put yourself in, you know?
Hosea 8:3. Israel had cast off the thing that is good, the enemy shall pursue him.
Mm-hmm. Right, because you wanted to cast off the thing that was good. Again, y'all don't realize, like you brought out in Hosea, y'all don't realize that all along, the one who was taking care of you was the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Y'all not taking into consideration that you really there, you really exist. That's where that whole faith comes in the hope. But again, y'all people cast off the thing that is good. The only thing that is good, the Most High, Yahweh. Again, we were talking about earlier, Yahweh Shai, he was professing that thing that you casted off, the Most High, Yahweh. And it said that you'll cast off the thing that is good, but now the enemy shall pursue thee. That's what you got coming. The ones that you wanted to put your trust in, your lovers, they're the ones who are going to be trying to destroy you. Believe it or not, your government is going to be raiding your house. We're already almost there, man. Almost there. You don't realize it.
This is Ecclesiastes 38:1. It says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which you may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
And you know what? I was going to link up with another scripture I was going to get, which was in Proverbs. I'll just quote it, but it said that the strange woman is a deep pit, and he that is abhorred by the Lord shall fall therein. The scripture just said that if you're wise, you won't abhor the instruction. Who's the greatest physician of all time and forever? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know? But y'all are despising what he says.
See y'all standing out here all the time. It's just like donate.
Nah, we don't say no money.
Over here. Didn't know what y'all supposed to be. What is it? Just church is praying.
Nah, we're preaching to our people, the Native American Indians, Negroes, Latinos. People right here see on the sign. These are the true people. The Most High is coming back to deliver. And the only people.
Straight up in.
Okay, then salvation is well, if she's part of the elect. If she's not the elect, she's not gonna make it. She's gonna be destroyed here. That's according to the Bible. The elect. That means to be a chosen person. You're selected, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be part of that election to make it out of here before this place is destroyed.
Yeah. She's
right.
full-blood Indian, so it's just. I didn't know what we thought y'all was taking donations, so we just wanted to stop and check it out.
Now we're not taking no donations, man. We're just preaching.
All right.
Preaching this gospel.
Appreciate it.
All right.
But anyways, getting back on the scriptures, the whole physician part, the Most High is the one. The Most High is the only one that can really do an actual healing. Now, if you're brought up to one of us, that's a sign that.
But going back to the whole point what we're speaking about, the brother brought out, there's a generation that's pure in their own eyes. And how can you make yourself clean? Who can make themselves clean? You can't make yourself clean. Yahweh Shai has to make you clean. He has to heal you. He has to get you right. All right, that's the whole point. That's what we're trying to stay in perspective of what we're talking about. Because this place called America is wicked, man. You 2/3 are wicked. Y'all are filthy animals.
Right. All right, and okay, and to add on to it, you know, y'all people, again, like you said out in Proverbs, y'all are pure, okay? Just trying to get back on track, you know. The whole thing is that we're speaking about that physician, though. Well, real quick about America, the only way that you 2/3 are going to be healed in this time, and this land is by it being destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. All right, that is the Most High doing the healing, because your wickedness, all y'all's wickedness is going to be taken out.
And that fire is a purifying device, or it's a purifier. It purges out, it cleanses. Fire at a high altitude or a high degree, it will do what it'll cleanse. So, yeah.
And here's just to the brotherhood real quick. I don't know if y'all been noticing, but I like to watch the Weather Channel a lot. But if you watch the Weather Channel a lot, you'll be noticing the temperatures they're bringing out. America has been actually the whole land of America has actually been. If you look at I think it's like the thermographic view of America, it'll be showing you the temperatures of America. If you look at it today, back then, you could see a lot of green. You know, there's a lot of green temperature parts, meaning it was cool, it was mild.
Vegetation.
Yeah, vegetation was growing. But, you know, if you look at it today, even if yesterday, today, there's nothing but red and yellow, and a little bit of orange.
Like the Lord said, it's going to be thistles, dry, desolate. That's what it's coming to. That's just the beginning of it. In the book of Joel tells you that.
But like but on a spiritual view, It's like it is. It's like the Most High is preparing. You know, like you heat up a pan before you actually cook it up. You cook whatever you're gonna put in there. It's like the Most High is heating up America so he can finally get that fire kindled. You know. And I even told this brother a couple weeks ago. I was watching this Discovery Channel thing or something, but it had there's a satellite in the outer space that it scans wherever a hot fire ignites like a wildfire, but it shows where it's being lit up from the outer space, and it sends it to a computer somewhere here. But they actually showed a scale. They condensed the time from like, I don't know how long ago, more than 100 years, I think, maybe. But they had the time of those fires condensed into one time from then to now. And when they showed it, all the fires actually lit up the whole Earth, all the landmass. You know, this thing is real, man. The whole thermonuclear missiles, that thing is real, man. And like the brother said, it's about to happen. The scriptures tell you, man, clear that there's a day that's coming very soon that it's going to be lit up on fire.
This is Jeremiah 51:32. And that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come.
Right, and it says right there, man, again, like the prophets were always telling you, don't be deceived. Because you may read a little bit right here, but you're like, I got a little time. Well, the scripture just said, yeah, a little, which, what does that mean? But it's going to happen. But he's saying, and it shall be done, Babylon shall be
Well, it's like Yahweh Shah says in the scriptures that his slackness is not as men. So 1,000 years is as a day, and a day is 1,000 years to the Most High, Yahweh Shai. So that's little time. To us, it seems like it's long and it's never gonna come, right? Like the scriptures say in what Peter's, that they're gonna say, all the fathers fell asleep as things continue on. So that's what it is. But it's a little while. It's just for a little bit. But in our minds, it's like been hundreds of years, thousands of years. But in Yahweh Shai's eyes, it's just a little while. And the prophets know that. That's why you hear us say it's just a little while. It's gonna happen quick. It's gonna happen soon.
Get back on Babylon real quick. Like I said, that just shows, man. The scripture even told you in Revelation it's only gonna take 1 hour, man. 60 minutes to destroy, maybe even less. They just gave an hour, but 1 hour to destroy this entire landmass of America. What you know and see today as America, and all these buildings. And you ever seen a threshing floor before? I mean, in a barn, it's nothing but hay.
That's why I brought it out, because you're saying how the land masses, the land mass is basically all full of dried up vegetation, and it's ready. And you throw a match in a drought season, man, what happens? It's gonna ignite and be engulfed in flames. So, you know, it's like it's being ready. Like, all we need to be put on there is a pan or the meat. The meat's here. It hasn't been led to slaughter food. So when that fire comes to ignite, it's gonna burn, man.
And it's funny because, real quick, a lot of people think today that just because it rains, it makes the land, you know, more vegetated again. But if you do a little research, you learn. You actually learn in school that when you get something wet, but you let it dry up a long time, it actually makes that part even more drier than before. And that's all this rain is doing today. Yeah, you see it raining like crazy, but when it dries up, that heat really gets to it, it's just making it even more drier than before. Just like you said, that you put that match and it just ignites. That's what's coming to America.
This is Isaiah 13:6. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames.
Right, and you know, like it said flames, Like your heart shall melt. Well, that's literally, man, your mind.
Your mind, when it says melt, it's gonna be brought to all your confidence and your pride is gonna drop to a discouragement. You're gonna be discouraged. You're gonna be weak. That's what it means when it says melt. But you are gonna melt though too, at a literal physical level. You're gonna melt like the scriptures say. There's no doubt about that. The scriptures prove that. In a real good movie, all the elders bring it out, all the brothers bring it out. It's Terminator 2, Judgment Day. It shows you exactly when Sarah Connor had a vision of the war. You know, the atomic bomb was ignited, and it came and wiped out all those kids, the women and children that were playing at the seesaw, the park. And she was looking at her, holding on to a fence, and she could see it. She was like trying to warn them. She was yelling her, you know, yelling with a loud voice, shaking the fence, but they weren't listening. You know, they were preoccupied in the cares of this life, in this world. They weren't concerned about the future. They weren't concerned about the prophecy. So what happened? They all got lit up on fire and melted. And Sarah Connor just kept holding on to that fence when that flame hit her, that heat wave, and just, you know, all that was left of her was bones, man. Her skeleton, just on the holding on to the fence. You know, she couldn't do nothing about it. She knew about it, but obviously she wasn't the elect. Well, in the vision she died, but in the reality of the movie, she made it out. I believe.
She did. Yeah.
I don't think she died in, well, I can't even remember, but you can watch them, man. Terminator 1, 2, and 3. But it's a good example on how the body, that flame is gonna melt you away.
Hey, well, I think even one of the brothers brought it out. I'm not gonna remember, but I'm gonna tell you what they told about that event. But wasn't it? Oh well, no, it was Hiroshima, wasn't it? When the atom bomb went off, that their shadows were
Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Their shadows were actually there. You actually had shadows left imprinted on the walls
on the concrete.
Yeah, that's how powerful it is, man. You can't run, like the brother said, man. You can't run away from that. And like the brother was talking about how your heart, your confidence, all that's gonna melt. There's no denying it, man. You cannot not be scared. You're standing out in the middle of nowhere, no type of fortitude to block you from that ball just coming at you. Listen, I mean, like when it explodes and expands, you can't. That's why, man, the scripture, that's why it's playing out the way it is, man, because
here you could be smart and say you're already prepared for that day. You know what's coming. You got bomb shelters set up. All right, but that still ain't gonna save you. You still gotta come out. And if you don't come out, you're gonna be sought out by the men of the Lord. They're gonna bring you out of them holes. Like we brought out last weekend. All y'all's idols and y'all's spiritual idols that y'all held highly, y'all's prophecies, y'all's own philosophies, ideologies, y'all gonna cast them away and hide because they didn't profit you. But that, just because you hide doesn't mean that you're good. Because the Most High knows, He's everywhere. He knows. He created you. He knows where you're at. And He's gonna send out His hunters to take you out. It tells you that in Amos chapter 9.
Yep. And you know what? To go back on that scripture again, in Proverbs again, you know, this is your reward because you wanted to be so proud in this time, rushing at people, puffing up everywhere that you went. This is your reward. That's a just reward for the great amount of iniquity and wickedness that you committed in your own pure own mind, your own stink. All right, that's your reward. What happened to Antiochus, man? Because he got so proud. He died from his own stink. You know? That's a just weight, man.
He didn't die of his own stink.
Yeah, the worms decay.
He had an illness in his stomach, and it was a awful, agonizing illness, man. To the point where he started stinking, and even his soldiers that were carrying him around him, they couldn't even bear his smell. So he was dying from the inside out.
You know, but that's a just reward, man, for you people that you want to do wickedly, because even all these accounts of all these kings and men that died, they died in their wickedness. The majority of them gave a little small testament before they died, like their last dying words, saying, "What? It is better to praise praise the Most High than to
True power.
yeah. It's better to call on the power
To acknowledge
Him as a true power than to trust in a man.